the world of squash is dominated by the top 10 or even the top 5, and there seems to be a growing gap between the first 4 in the world and the rest. How do you see that gap being bridged?
I tell you, I think, you know, like take Pakistan for instance. If I'm not wrong, they have 5 of the top 6 players in the world, and they have an advantage. To see, they have a culture in Pakistan of squash, and they played squash years back, which in Europe or in the other rest of the world hasn't played so much, so many years. And I think they're going to catch up with Pakistan in 4 or 5 years and going to narrow the gap. As it is now, the gap is, as you say, it's getting bigger. But I think in 4 or 5 years' time, you will see a lot of good Europeans and Americans, Canadians play good squash.
This is good. It's very interesting to see that happening, but the top spot has been dominated by Jeff Hunt, a really great athlete, a fantastic man.
One of the best athletes in the world, must be.
Yeah, and now Jahangir Khan, phenomenal 17-year-old, who's now 18, I beg your pardon, has now caught up with Jeff, and whose fitness is overtaking Jeff Hunt at the moment. Now he is running away with the number 1 spot. No one can catch him at the moment.
No one can beat him at the moment, and then again, it's got to take a dedicated young player who wants to train and play as much as Jahangir does and sacrifice a lot of his living, you know, into squash to have a chance to beat Jahangir.
Do you see anybody coming up in that vein at the moment?
I mean, I've seen a lot of talented young juniors who's got the ability to beat Jahangir, but doesn't have the mental strength. I don't know.
Sure. Well, Lars, you have played Jahangir Khan on a number of occasions, and what interests me about people who play him, who go on and play him and lose, and keep very cool, keep a very straight face. But tell me, Lars, what is it like to actually go on court and be playing this phenomenal squash player from Pakistan, Jahangir Khan?
Yeah, I can tell you, I've played with all the players, like Jeff Hunt, Qamar Zaman and Hidi Jahan, and all of them. And I don't feel that kind of pressure as you do against Jahangir. Because it's sort of I think it's come to most players as a mental block. You see, they feel the pressure before they even go in court playing with him. Because he's that good and he's that strong. So you use when you go on court, you know you got to be tired against him. You know? When I play against Jeff or these other guys, you don't really feel that or know that before that you have to be tired. But against him you feel like, shit, you know, now you've been playing for 20 minutes and you're still struggling to get points. And you know that before you're going in the court. So that's the biggest aspect, my point of view, that I feel that I can't beat him. I don't feel that against other players, which I'm saying for my own sake of myself. I'm trying to overcome that, and I'm still, all the time when I go in court, I'll try to beat everybody. That's the feeling I get, and it's amazing.
Can you compare it with anything that you can think of?
Yes, I can compare it with you know, like you find yourself running in front of a train. It just keeps coming at you, you know, and maybe not particularly fast, but it keeps coming at you, and you run and you can't get out of that track. Because you can't find a way out, you know, you just have to get along on that train's way, you know, and you try to run away from it, and you run, and it's just a matter of fact of time till it catches you up. It's amazing. That's
very interesting. The thing that I've noticed purely as an observer of all this is that when Jahangir is on the court, when he is playing the ball looks so small, and the courts when his opponent is trying to reach the ball looks so big. Why is that? He's reading the game very well, and he's a fantastic mover. And at the same time, he's a fantastic strike of the ball. I mean, the guy is not playing many shots at the moment, but he can do it. You know, he can play shots, but he's playing so accurately and puts the pressure on you. He's actually cutting the space of the court. You know, he's putting the court small for himself by producing a lot of accurate shots. And
fantastic movements. So wherever you put the ball, you know, he's there. And wherever he strikes the ball away from him. And this is a talent he has, you know, which, I mean, you can compare that with Borg in tennis, my countryman.
Sure,
You know?
sure.
The same thing, I mean, when I watch you, exactly the same phenomenon.
How long do you think Jahangir is going to go on at this level?
I think, to be honest with you, I think he'll be going on for 4 or 5 years. I don't think, I mean, I don't know Jahangir that well, so I know what's going on in his mind, but I think he must be very, very strong to keep doing what he's doing at the moment, you know? Dedicate himself like that. And once he has been winning everything as he does at the moment, what else can he do? So he's got to start maybe looking at some girls and go to some parties later on. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he keeps going for 10, 15 years.
Well, he's got a big target ahead of him in trying to crack the World Championship 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
Maybe. He's got to take Jeff Hunt's crown in the British Open to get this fantastic record that Hashim once had back to Pakistan. Do you think that will be a great motivation for him?
That is a very great motivation, because that makes him the greatest player ever living. And at the moment it's Jeff Hunt who is the legend, has the 8-time title. If I was Jahangir, I would chase them.
Sure, which makes an interesting point in that if he does this, it means to say that what we're looking for now for a new world champion is someone in the age group of 7 or 8 years of age to come along.
Yeah.
Who's got to be then 17 when Jahangir is 27.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's going to be. Or an extreme talent who is 12, 13 years of age now. Yeah.
But now we're looking for someone in the world who is able to give Jahangir a really hard game throughout the world. Who do you think might possibly do that?
There is a couple of guys who can give him a very hard game. And players like Gamal Awad from Egypt, Egyptian #1, who must be one of the fastest mover in the world athlete when it comes to reaction and speed. And I mean, even Kwame Saman can put up good fights if he gets mentally strong, you know. He still can produce very good stuff. And Jeff Hunt is still there.
Do you think Jeff Hunt will come along and give Jahangir another game for perhaps another 12 months or so?
He said at his speech after losing the World Championship in Toronto that he looked at Jahangir and he said, "You watch it, Jahangir, I'll be back." And when he says that, I believe he's going to come back and try to defend his title in the British Open. But my personal feeling is he won't win it.
Sure. But how long will Jeff contemplate going on as number 2 in the world?
I don't know. Being as great as he is, I don't think he likes to be number 2 or 3, and I think he's too clever to I mean, it's not a shame of being number 2, number 3. I mean, he'll keep going. I mean, playing a few tournaments like that. But once he knows that he's really starting to lose to everybody, his family's going to take over. He's dedicated to his family. So I don't think he's going on for very much longer.
Sure. But Jeff and Jahangir surely must be 2 of the fittest men in the world.
Oh, definitely. I've never seen anything like it. I was actually impressed when I saw this final in Toronto. Well, the first game lasting 59 minutes and a tremendous pace, and the final in the British Open last Mars. That was incredible. 2 hours 30 minutes, and everybody who plays squash knows what it takes out of you to keep playing in a world championship for 2 hours. It's just, and not just doing it once, like Jahangir had to do it twice. He had to play Gamal for 2 hours as well in the quarterfinals, I think it was. Which took 2 hours.
Yes, this boy is quite sensational, no doubt about it.
He's strong.
Yes.
I used to say his stroke, his body is his best stroke. Sure. And his head is strong. Sure.
Well, Lars Kvant, from this beautiful beach in Pakistan, Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. And say hello to my mum and my mother and my father who helped me a lot. I love you.